It's frustrating because you can't even have intercourse with your friend's fiance the day before their marriage. I thought adult life was all about adultery. I feel so betrayed. I don't believe in patiently waiting to get rich. I don't think that's how money works. Instead, lack of patience is what will make me rich. The problem is that I don't have anything to gamble on to make more money. I knew in order to make money, I needed to get it from somewhere. The question is, where? Also, I believe money is the only thing that will open doors in life. Even the doorman needs a tip to open the door. Unless it's an automatic door. In that case, no tip. Probably because science. The truth is that every historical famous person was rich. Even every famous person in the present is rich. But if they are famous and not rich, then they are not famous or rich. Because that's how you measure if someone's famous or not. They must have a Wikipedia page. If your name doesn't have a hyperlink on Wikipedia, you're not that famous. So yeah, money. Anyway, the point is that I needed a decent amount of money to make more money. And everybody I knew is a broke ass. So I went to the bank. I went to the source. Technically, the source should be the government since they are the ones printing money. But I don't know how to go to government and demand money. I'm not that powerful yet, but soon. Once I become mega rich, I will. Until then, I'm nothing. So I asked the bank, but they refused. They said they are not taking any new clients because of inflation. That's a lie. I don't think inflation is real. It's a hoax. We all are rich by nature. We just need to find where our money is. The only conclusion I can come up with is that the bank lady was jealous of me being rich, so she refused me the loan. Once I become rich, I will own that bank, and nobody can stop me. But until then, I needed a new way to get money. That's when I learned about my grandma and her little savings. She was one of those losers who worked so hard for so many years and built a small business and tasted a little of success. But I never knew she was loaded. Now I know. She has something I need. So I started to buttering her up, make her see the good side of me. I mean, it took me for a while to earn her trust. It seems like the hardworking people are very suspicious of people who want to be rich very quick. Not fair. I think probably because she's from older generation and the current generation doesn't care about that. The current generation loves people who don't work hard. But my grandma wasn't none of that. I couldn't play ball with her. So I said that I needed an investor for my business. My grandma actually respected my honesty and agreed to help me. I was surprised. But she had a lot of questions. She asked me why I wanted to invest. And I said that I wanted to be rich. She asked me what would I do once I become rich. I said, become richer and expand my wealth. But she was not fan of my response. She said that kind of irresponsible thinking and it won't end well. Because if rich only cares about becoming richer, it will make poor even poorer. It's not good for the society. I was like, so what? Here's the thing. The rich get richer while poor get poorer isn't a social issue. Instead, the rich get richer while poor get poorer. It's called balance. But I didn't tell her that. I acted like she was right and took the money. But my grandma doesn't know that I invested all her wealth into meme coins. Because I figured, what's the point explaining to her all? She wouldn't understand anyway. She will ask, what is a meme coin? What is a meme? Who are you? You're not my grandchild. You're adopted, etc. I didn't want any of that. I mean, eventually she will get her money back because crypto is the thing. And 2025 is all about anyway, 2025 all about getting wealthy, and crypto is the only answer. I deeply believe in that. Also, the government doesn't print crypto. It's environmentally friendly. Think how much waste we can avoid. Maybe that's what government should do. Not print money, but create crypto. All they need is Control C and Control P. They just need to copy and paste a million times. Boom, they have millions. This is great. I have faith. That's how you win in life. All you need is deep, blind faith in your actions and no self-criticism. Faith is what made science and technology possible. And science and technology are what made crypto possible. So crypto is like faith. Faith equals crypto and crypto equals faith. Do you know what else will change because of crypto? The fashion industry. Think about it. If there is no money to carry, there won't be any pockets, wallets, and handbags. People will wear fewer things and carry fewer things. As a matter of fact, they don't need to buy many clothes because they don't have any money with them. That's true. If you have no money with you, why do you need a house? Future, marriage, a car, children, education. So people can just sleep on the street and starve to death. So, yeah, crypto, hope, faith, money, success. Pros, prosper. Yeah. I always believed I could reduce some of my weight if I walked to the restaurant and bought my takeout. But I didn't want the delivery guy to lose his income. So I ordered through the app and had it delivered to my house. Although I avoided eating sweets and desserts because they were unhealthy, I knew that. I mostly depended on carbs and fried food. I was still gaining weight, but I knew it could have been worse. Yet my family and friends mocked me for my weight. I knew I wasn't losing any weight, but I wasn't gaining any extra also. I was like an anchored ship, stayed still. I wasn't moving. Now it's time to sink this ship and show them who I am. Because I care about my health. I didn't still give up on my body positive agenda. No one can break my confidence. Only I can do that. The great thing about wanting to lose weight is the imagination of how I would feel after losing weight. Sometimes I think that happy imagination makes me gain even more weight. So I force myself to hate myself. I knew my weight struggle was temporary and there was light on the other side. That motivated me to eat 3 pieces of cake instead of whole cake. I could see the light even though I'm dizzy. I wanted to win, but I was afraid to go to gym. I couldn't see myself in the mirror for hours. I was afraid I would fall in love with myself. I didn't want to love myself. I wanted to hate myself because loving myself would make me gay. At that time, there were not many options for losing weight other than joining the gym. Now that's not the case. Now anyone can lose weight using drugs. You can easily replace food addiction with drug addiction. The real problem began when the pandemic hit. My boss told me that I might lose the job because I voted for the people who made bad economic policies. Inflammation and inflation both are my fault. After losing the job, I had plenty of time to take care of myself, but had no money to join the gym. It was like believing you are attractive while your parents are ugly. It doesn't add up. During this time, I started losing some weight, but I wasn't sure was it because of stress or because of shrinkflation made my potato chips smaller. The corporate greed stole my grease. It felt good to lose weight, but the gym cost a fortune. Why do I have to pay money to put fat into my body and pay money to burn it? I don't get paid in this economic transaction circus. But I know losing weight requires commitment. I know this because gaining weight also requires commitment. That commitment made everything covered in butter taste better. I started to work out at home because my passion for the health actually increased. And also, the alternative was smelling the stinky sweat of strangers at the gym. I would take the bus if I wanted that. The new break from work life helped me deeply connected to myself and made me realize that I had no friends. Now I understand why I was fat. If I had shared my food with someone, I wouldn't have been fat. But I didn't give up on myself because I admired myself. I was focused on looking after the little guy. I needed to burn all the fat to help the little guy in me. So I came up with an effective method. The reason I was losing weight because I was fired. I realized losing money equals losing weight. My whole life, everyone told me that earn more money to have a better healthy life. But in reality, poverty is the only one led to a healthy life. I was pissed. I found out what workout routine works for me. It's not the gym, it's not drugs, it's just being broke. That's my jam. But everything was going fine until my parents saw my situation. They were worried about me losing weight. I was confused because this is the first time they were upset seeing me lose. Usually they cheer. My parents were not happy about my optimal workout routine and told me to stop living like a hobo. So I asked them some money, but they said they wouldn't give money to a hobo. Luckily, the bad economy worked very well for me because all the prices went up and I could only afford fewer groceries at the store. It helps me to stay thin. I learned an important lesson because a developed society doesn't feed its people. Instead, they steal food from the people so they won't end up obese. That's how any good society creates happiness for its people, by neglecting their needs and letting them eat less stuff. That's a sign that system really cares about its people. Think about it. What's better? A fat society that cannot walk or a thin society that runs itself to the grave? I would choose the grave at any day. That's why I think rich people keep all of us poor. So we will lose weight and live a happy, healthy life. The system is not rigged, it's working perfectly for our best interest. Because health is like a company. I must invest care and discipline in order to protect my business. If I fail, I'd have to declare bankruptcy. But I rather avoid paying taxes to stay in business than go bankrupt. So that's my technique to lose weight without gym. Go broke. The more money you lose, the more calories you burn. I like to lose weight in this way. It's surprising to me because I usually don't like things. I get joy from not liking things. Sometimes I force myself to not like things that I actually like. Because I like not liking things. I think that's my strength. Not liking things. I like that about myself. Hold on. Do I? What should I do when the bride of someone tells me the day before her marriage that she has always had a crush on me? What should I do when that someone is one of my closest friends? I'm not saint or anything, but I also have voids to fill, and those voids only can filled by someone else's wife. Isn't that how trade works? Trading some meat for watermelon? I think it's good. Free trade is good. But there's an ethical problem I have to deal with. Let's say I consider her interest in me. Let's say I decided to do something about that interest. What exactly does she expect me to do? The problem is, I don't like choices. I don't like to choose because I don't want to think. And I think thinking is weakness. Have you seen a lion sitting there and thinking? Real men don't think. They let the woman do the work, like lion does with the lioness. Unless the lioness belongs to someone else, then I have to do something about it. So I called my friend's fiance and asked her what should we do. And she said she wanted to play mommy and daddy before getting married. I said yes. However, she gave me only 1 hour. I had 1 hour to sneak into her room and initiate the conversation. Well, 1 hour is not enough to do corrupt things. You need at least 4 to 5 years. Here's the problem. The parents of the groom and bride had rented this big hotel for the guests. The first floor was for the bride's relatives and friends, and the second floor was for the groom's relatives and friends. The third floor was for both families and the bride and groom. I was from the groom's side, so I was staying in the second floor. Between the bride's room and mine, there was one floor, one elevator, and 1 hour. One floor, one elevator, 1 hour. One floor, one elevator, and 1 hour. One floor, one elevator, and 1 hour. There was no easy way to get to the bride's room. I had to pass her parents' room, her sister's room, and then I could get to the bride's room. I had to pass all these hurdles to get to her, like Super Mario. It's frustrating because you can't even have intercourse with your friend's fiance the day before their marriage. I thought adult life was all about adultery. I feel so betrayed. My predecessors have failed me. I feel cheated. Also, I couldn't leave my room quickly because I was surrounded by my friends. I mean, I don't think they're my friends, but they think I'm theirs. I don't even remember their last names. The only reason I hang out with them is that I lack the skill to break people's heart. I think I have a good soul. But I didn't give up. I know myself, I will always do the right thing. So I told my friends that I was sick and made it to the bride's room in 15 minutes. To be honest, I wasn't sick. I know it may sound like a lie, but I didn't lie. I hid the truth. It's different because in order to lie, you need some skills. I have no skills. I only have impulses. Anyway, once I got into her room, she was happy. She was excited to see me. She hugged me, kissed me. It was okay because she was preparing for her wedding. All the beauty products chemical was a bit too much. I was distracted by that. I can still taste the chemicals. Yuck. Apart from that, everything was going fine. We were making out. And then she said she always loved me. I panicked because there's a huge difference between loving someone and having a crush on someone. Huge. I mean, a crush leads to lust, but the love leads to a relationship. A relationship means responsibility. I didn't want that kind of responsibility, especially with someone else's wife. So I asked her what she meant by love. She wanted to continue this after she got married. This? There's no this. I just wanted a 7-day free trial. Now I have been charged for a whole year. I wanted it to stop because I don't want to have an affair with someone else's wife. I only want intercourse. It's different. I have dignity. So I told her this is a huge mistake and forget it happened. And she smirked and told me that mistake wasn't what I did with her, but the mistake was that I wanted to stop doing it. She blackmailed me. I have been bullied, harassed, discriminated against, beaten, tortured. But I had never been blackmailed before. I felt something new, like a kid learning about Santa or Newton learning about gravity. What's that word? Remarkable. It was remarkable. I was minding my own business. She came to me and told me she had a crush on me. Why am I being punished for that? But I won't back down to bullies. So I said, no, we can't continue this, whatever this is. I told her I would not hurt my friend's feelings. I'm not that kind of a guy, no matter what. So, no, we can't have an affair. She thought for a moment and said, okay. And that was it. She and my friend got married. But here's the thing, this happened a few years ago when the economy was doing decent compared to now. At that time, I thought my future would be better. But I was wrong. The concept of hope was absent in my life. And when you are not hopeful, other people's wives don't want you. That was my hard takeaway from a bad economy. My problems aside, that bride, my friend's now wife, texted me recently. We hadn't spoken in years, so I texted back. She didn't look like she used to. It appeared to me she had a drinking problem. But she called it a lifestyle because it was expensive wine. After a little chat, I learned she's doing well financially, but not mentally. She had a lot of things going on with her face. I couldn't pay attention to her words through her big lips. It was a mess. She told me she is still in love with me and wants to meet me. I told her that I'm in the worst place in my life and I can't meet her. But she said she would pay me to meet me. No. Here's the thing. I'm not a sexist, but I wanted to sell this old family house because I needed some cash. But my brother said no. He said the smartest way to becoming rich isn't having more cash, but by creating more wealth. Well, I disagree. I don't think anyone can truly be wealthy in a capitalistic system. I didn't know what capitalism was 2 days ago. I saw some clips back to back, and that's the only thing I now talk about. Well, somehow saying it's all capitalism's fault made me feel less boring. I think I'm getting interesting. If I had known this, I would have started blaming capitalism sooner. For a long time, I didn't know the answer to all my problems. But when I fit capitalism into the equation, everything came together. My father did the same thing with communism. He blamed all his bad choices on communism. Now it's my time to blame. I guess it runs in our blood. Apart from blood sugar and cholesterol, communism and capitalism are the sickness running in our family blood. Well, there was feminism, but we got rid of that a long time ago in our family because we decided two problems at a time, no room for the third one. But my brother disagrees with me on that. He says we need feminism for an equal voice. So now he's dealing with feminism and capitalism. That makes him a threesome? Anyway, I want cash and I want to sell this old family house. How can I convince my brother and get his signature? My brother isn't an easy guy to convince. He asks a lot of questions, details. He's like a walking terms and conditions page. Maybe that's why nobody wants to spend time with him. Well, some women do. But then he has to pay them later. I wish I had that kind of money. I would also pay for all these women. I mean, I could if I sell the house. So I talked to my brother, and he was unhappy about the idea. I yelled, he yelled. I called him a wussy. He broke my phone. I kissed his wife. He broke my headphones. The shouting match kept going. Still, I don't hate my brother. He's successful and rich. I have no reason to hate him. I think brothers shouldn't hate each other. I think they should hate others together. Anyway, after a few days, my brother and I agreed not to fight and to deal with this problem as adults. That's the great thing about money. That's why I like money. Money takes two people and forces them to agree on something. Money is the only thing that can make people act like adults. It's adults only. But I couldn't wait. I needed the money. I went straight to him and gave him an ultimatum. Either he agrees to sell the house and get his share, or I go to court and deal with it legally. My brother didn't panic. He was calm. He told me that all my money problems are temporary and will go away if I focus on important things. Focus on important things. What a clown. I told him money is the important thing. All day I think about how much money I need. All the time. He didn't care. He told me to invest my time in something useful. He said these problems are temporary because everyone perceives time differently. That's why problems feel so different, because time is relative. If time is relative, then my time probably an Indian relative. It keeps judging me and expecting me to fail. Nothing was going my way. Until I found out that my brother and his wife were going on a rough patch in their marriage. Under normal circumstances, it doesn't bother me. I don't even care about my romantic life. Why would I care about others? But in my brother's case, it's different. If I somehow make his wife divorce my brother, he has to pay alimony. That will put him in a condition to need more money. If he needs more money, he will agree to sell the house, and I will get my cut. I like it. I like the fact that I'm a problem solver. I can make any couple split and make money. I think I'm the opposite of Cupid. The opposite of Cupid. I think there is a god in Greek mythology, Anthros. The opposite of Cupid is Anthros. But Anthros doesn't rhyme with Cupid. I want the opposite to rhyme with Cupid. What if I try to spell the opposite of Cupid? Something like Tipuc, dipshit. Am I a dipshit? So I talked to my brother's wife and reminded her why she deserves her freedom and should be treated equally. I insisted she should never take any crap from my brother. I encouraged her to stand up for her rights and rip off 50% of my brother's wealth. I was hopeful because I know that unhappy couples always admit when their relationship isn't working. They always put their well being first. They put their mental health first. Admit their mistake. They respect each other. They put their kids first. They respect boundaries. But I was wrong. Unhappy couples would rather fake their relationship than admit it's broken. It sounds like a gambling addiction. They didn't get divorced. They went to Bali instead. A vacation to avoid divorce. Apparently, every time they realize they have to get a divorce, they pack swimsuits and go on a vacation. I can't believe it. They destroyed my empire before even it started. No divorce means my brother doesn't need the money and he won't agree to sell the house. What kind of person are you if you can't even destroy your marriage for your brother? The world used to be a different place. Now it's just sick. But I won't stop pursuing my goal. I will put in all the hard work to use my family wealth and become successful. I will show the world what it takes to be a successful self-made businessman or entrepreneur or inventor. I can't be an inventor. I didn't invent anything. I mean, the only thing I invented was accidental pregnancies. Will that make me an inventor? Maybe I'm an inventor. Yeah, I can invent. I mean, I have been inventing since I was a teenager. Most of those inventions were wasted on tissues and socks, but as a man, I think I can do better. I will show the world. I will show the world what I can do. I will build an army. More of me, more of me, more of me. That's what this world needs. I'll sell the house and give the money to all the women who can carry my. I wanted to turn my painful history into a positive film, but the industry wanted to turn my positive film into a painful history. For years, I have been struggling to make a film and I wasn't going anywhere. My parents paid a lot of money for film school, and I graduated with all these papers saying I knew stuff. That means I should be good at filmmaking, right? Right? It wasn't true. My parents didn't pay shit. They did believe in education, just not mine. They were very happy about how well other kids did in school. They used that to mock me, tried to make me feel small. I don't think it worked. I don't feel small. I only feel big, long, specifically in the morning. So, boo hoo to my parents. They have no idea how far I have come. Anyway, one day I got an email from a rep at a well known studio. She offered me a chance to pitch an idea. I said yes because of the economy. To check if she was real, I looked her up on Instagram. She posted a lot of photos of anti war protest, bikinis, and fine dining. I was confused between war, lifestyle, and beach. What emotion should I feel? Sorry, horny, angry, or all at once? Pornhub thumbnails have clear messaging. Instagram, not so much. Turned out she was real. But I had a problem. I didn't know how to write for TV. I only know how to write films that stream on TV. So I started watching a lot of TV, hoping that I could learn how to write for TV. And I began with Baywatch. Watched a lot of Baywatch. I wasn't writing, but I was learning about gravity, motion. At lunch, I pitched my idea to the studio rep. For privacy, let's call her Salmon, because in every meeting, if she ate fish, it's salmon. Only salmon. Doesn't she know there are other fish in the sea? Or salmon is the only fish she sees? Can someone be fish racist? What do we call that? Fascist. I mean, it's called seafood, not sea salmon. Fish supremacy is ruining this world. The meeting went okay, and I was looking for a story idea. Then I remembered my grandpa told me about his grandpa during colonialism. I took that tragic story and wrote it from the point of view of a young boy who hoped a better future for everyone. Technically, I turned tragedy into a positive script. What's that word? Remarkable. It was remarkable. I pitched the one line to Salmon and she loved it. She loved it so much, she let me make all the creative decisions. I felt proud. For a guy who doesn't feel anything anymore, that was something. Salmon made me feel good. Hold on. When I think about it, it's kind of fishy because I didn't want to make all the decisions. But she kept asking me what to do. I began managing my manager. I felt like an algorithm. Does that mean now I have to suggest thirst traps? Isn't that odd that billion-dollar algorithm suggests thirst traps? Doesn't that count as pimping? Is social media algorithm a giant pimp? Anyway, I finished the script and sent it to Salmon. I was hopeful. A week later, she hit me back. The studio said no. They asked me to do changes. They said the story is too positive. Audience won't like it. They wanted the slaves to be exploited. The studio said that's what audiences want to see. I said no. I have creative dignity. I can accept the low pay, but not mistreatment. But they warned me, comply or we will ruin your career. Anywhere you go. They said they will do anything to silence me. I don't know what to do. If my father were rich, I could have said, do you know who my father is? I can't because he doesn't even know who he is. So, yeah. As a broke person, I have the illusion of rights. I know that. If one thing I'm sure about my rights, it is that I have none. Compared to a rich person, I'm a stain on a garbage bin. Not even the garbage collector wants to pick me up. I accepted this project hoping to get promoted from stain to bin. I mean, a plastic bin. I only become a metal bin once I get discovered by other garbage bins. So yeah, art. At the end, I gave up my creative dignity because I wanted to get somewhere in my career. So I made the changes, turned my positive story into a slave labor exploitation drama. The studio loved it. Salmon loved it. She even hugged me. After many notes, we decided it's best as a rom-com slave drama. They asked one more change. Give the slave character six packs and a studio apartment with a weed-smoking roommate. I said yes. I was ready for the pre-production. Still not fully paid, but hey, when you write about slave labor, you should live the character. It's called method writing. Anyway, in the end, they changed their mind and asked to make a movie. A new idea from scratch. All my hard work went to shit. Salmon called it a working writer's life. Why doesn't she just shut up? Like I asked her opinion. What a clown. But I'm still deciding. I had another story about a pervert uncle who made my childhood miserable. Did things to me. I told the studio. They loved it. I got a book deal, a documentary offer, a TV show, and a movie. Big cast. They loved it. With one catch. They wanted to make it from my uncle's point of view. Make him the hero and make me the villain. Because it's about telling a good story. I wanted to turn my painful history into a positive film. But the industry wanted to turn my positive film into a painful history. Do they get aroused? I mean, really, do they? Who are these realistic slavery films for? I don't watch them. Nobody I know watches them. It's not Django Unchained. It's more like putting Django back in chains. Maybe they're trying to build empathy. Is that the point? But isn't empathy a weakness? If that's true, if empathy is a weakness, what happens when they remake Django Unchained? They'll remove empathy and make Django the villain. So Calvin Candy becomes the hero. What will they call it? Calvin Candy's Whip or Cool Whip. In the end, Mr. Right betrayed me. He said it's too risky to trust me anymore. So he fired me. I got fired yesterday. Not sure if I will get my final salary. I need to give a little bit of context here. I always get misunderstood for my kind heart. So let's rewind a bit. I don't want to mention my boss's real name for privacy reasons. So I'm going to call him or her, can be her too. The point is, I need to fake name this person. So I'm going to call him Mr. Right. Why Mr. Right? Because why not? I was working late that day, had to deliver some files. I brought them to Mr. Wright's office. Then I heard something. I heard a woman screaming. It was Mr. Wright's wife. For privacy reasons, I'll call her Mrs. Left, for her own protection, so she won't get pregnant. Apparently that Mr. Wright isn't a man. Seemed like he was avoiding her. She was angry because he didn't touch her much. They have sex by his rules. The rule, she can't see him during sex. Her eyes might be covered. Mr. Right can see Mrs. Left, but Mrs. Left cannot see Mr. Right. Now, Mrs. Left found out that why Mr. Right was doing that. Why? Because he has a secret fantasy. She suspects there is something nasty he's hiding from her. He didn't deny anything. He just sat there and took it. Like a little, but I heard everything. I know eavesdropping is a sin and one might go to hell, but the alternative is being an atheist and go to heaven. I would rather pray and go to hell than being an atheist. Mrs. Left was really angry at Mr. Right. I mean, was kind of disturbing. She has done all these beauty salon gimmicks to look pretty, but her angry voice was like two nationalists having sex. Patriotic? Patriarchy? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is her voice sounded manly, but not fully manly. Anyway, now Mrs. Left hates me. She thinks I know something about Mr. Right's secret. Well, she's not wrong. Not at all. I knew something weird was going on in the office, but I didn't want to throw Mr. Right under the bus. I also didn't want to be stuck in a couple's fight. She wasn't letting me go, and my bitch man boss man wasn't helping me at all. Sorry for such language. Mrs. Left gave me an ultimatum. Tell the truth or get fired. I chose the truth. I told her everything. I told her the secret. This is the secret. There was an office party 2 months ago. I forgot my wallet at the desk, so I went back to get it. Then I heard a sound. First, I wondered who would be in the office on a Friday evening. Staff were at the office party. So, who was in the building? I heard the noise from Mr. Wright's room. I wanted to make sure nothing was wrong because I'm a good person. That's what good people do. They stick their nose in other people's lives. So I did. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Nothing. So I opened the door. And I saw. How do I say this without getting banned? Mr. Wright was playing with his jewelry while looking at a photo. He didn't know I was behind him, but I saw the horror. I saw the photo. It was a photo of Mr. Wright's younger self. He was around 25, I guess. Then Mr. Wright turned and saw me. I panicked. I ran for my life. I'm still traumatized. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and no one could turn him on? Not one? After that horror, we never spoke about it. Now, he's asking for my help. What a clown. Seemed like Mrs. Left saw him doing it at home, but she couldn't see the photo. So I told her he was playing with his jewelry to a picture of Demi. Now, Mr. Rice wants me to tell Mrs. Left that I gave him a signed photo of Demi Moore for his birthday. Because I run an online Demi Moore fan club. I never seen a single Demi Moore film. Are you kidding me? I only saw one scene. She was dancing. You know the one. Usually, I only tell the truth, even if it's ruined someone's life. I have ruined so many lives by telling the truth. Not proud of it. You know what? I'm proud of it. So what? But I want to keep my job. So, I have to play this according to Mr. Wright's request. I told Mrs. Left it was all about Demi Moore. She believed me. Truth won. Yay. But in the end, Mr. Wright betrayed me. He said it's too risky to trust me anymore. So he fired me. Also told me he won't pay my last month's salary. I was pissed. My salary is my right, and I won't give up my rights. So we argued. It was long, and I won't waste your time, so here's the gist. I said,
meow, 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 meow.
He said,
Meow, 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 meow.
I said,
Meow, 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 meow.
In the end, my
meow, meow
didn't work. His
meow, meow
was the final
meow, meow.
I took all my
Meow, meow.
and left the office. Now I have no job, no money. I'm a broke.
Meow, meow.
But something weird happened. Even though Mr. Wright hates me now, Mrs. Left started to like me because I told her the truth. She has a sweet spot for me in her heart. I don't want a sweet spot in someone's heart. I want a raise. But I didn't want to investigate. Mrs. Left liked me. It kind of helped me. For now. Even though I suspect I'll pay a price for that later. For now, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. My prediction was right. I got rehired. Mrs. Left threatened Mr. Wright. If he didn't hire me back, she will reveal the truth about Demi Moore. I knew he would call me. He did. And I said, God bless you. Because I'm a good guy. And that's what good guys do. What the hell? Baby? It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything will be fine. Have you seen a 3,000-year-old steak? Because I have.